Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. What's up? What is up, everybody? What is going on? We're here for a little bit, just hanging out. Things have been busy. It's the home stretch for the one day, and then it's all over. What a good shirt. I know, right? We got the No Sleep Till Christmas shirt right here, which is the most basic, generic shirt that you could probably find. I do like Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm not that much of a poser like other people that just wear Jack Skellington like a bunch of yo-yos. But anyway, we are here. Merry Christmas to everybody. Jeff M., Golden Freak, Eli. It says Manthony's in the house. Thank you, Jeff M., Sista A., MKL, and hockey fan Carly McAdams. What's up? Merry Christmas to everybody. We're just going to be shooting the shit for a couple hours here. Nothing too crazy. I did play some Parasite Eve today, which is the good news, because I am going to be able to play it tomorrow for you guys. So there's that. Basically, you know, that game needs to be finished, and I'd like to finish it before the end of the month, but we'll see how much I have left with the certain stipulations that I have. So, yeah. Never watched Night Before Christmas as Golden Freak. That's crazy. Hockey fan says, don't be a poser, man. Yeah, you can't be. Rambo, what's up, man? Yeah, so actually, you know, it's funny because it's kind of nuts how you know, like going into Parasite Eve, I didn't know what to expect at all, but I definitely didn't expect, you know, to kind of be struggling to get through, you know, when I only am supposed to have a few parts left of the game, well, a few days left of the game. But it's fine. Like I said, I will try to figure that out, and even if the next part sucks and I don't get anywhere, at least I'm still playing something and I'm still putting out content in there. I definitely don't like to take a month off of a game, though. So that's definitely a bad spot to be in. What is going on? Yo. These fucking cats, man. As soon as I start, they go fucking nuts. Kay, what's going on? Hope you're well. Thanks for still being a member. And I do have a member show that I'm going to be uploading as well. I did record it yesterday, so I'm going to be dropping that. And yeah, so you'll have something before the end of the month, an extra little podcast. And I'm going to be working on the year in review, I should say, podcast that just kind of talks about the year and caps everything off in a nice little podcast. Yeah, so hopefully that can come out before the end of, yeah, they got the zoomies. Hopefully that can come out before the end of this month, which is the obvious one, because I'd like to put it out before the end of the year. And then the other one is trying to just beat Parasite Eve so I can move on to other games. Not that I'm not enjoying that, but yeah, I'd like to finish it so we can get on to something else. Taking a temporary break from Instagram, says Kay. Well, sometimes it's better to just take a break from that. Sista A, what's going on with the Christmas gifts and the presents? Two things. Let's get some thumbs up. And what are you going to do for Dead Rising? When are you going to do a Dead Rising stream? That's a good question. I was asked about that last night. We had a Discord kind of movie night thing. And I'm going to be doing extra events as well for members and Patreon supporters next year monthly. So that's also going to be a common thing where there's going to be extra incentive to support, but then also, there's extra stuff there that we can kind of do as like watch-alongs or, playing some games and stuff like that. But it got brought up last night, and I'd love to bring back Dead Rising. Maybe next year we can bring back Dead Rising. I'd love to do it. I love to get my friend Dave, Aceful Fame Gaming, on here. You might know him from the chat. But, yeah, he's one of my best friends. And along with Indica Hybrid, Brandon, Eddie, obviously, Eddie Kunitz, who comes in the chat. Those are all my real-life best friends. John, obviously, is another one. My other friend, John. 2 Johns that are my close friends. And a bunch more, obviously, that, come in. And but me and Dave, we tackled Dead Rising back in 2016 when it was the 10-year anniversary. These fucking cats, man, are just running all over. So it's been a while. And that was like back when I was live streaming, but I was still doing audio only, and I wasn't on camera like this. So if I did bring back Dead Rising, it would definitely be a very fun throwback, because me and Dave love Dead Rising. And it's been a while since we played it, but I never played 3 or 4, so it will be fun to kind of go back and maybe play, a couple of these now with a new audience of people that, have come since, the channel has grown and has come over from, different games that we've played. And Dead Rising is always a very fun game that I feel like people... I know people talk about it and it's fun, but like, I don't know. I just think it's still very kind of underrated. At least the first one. I'm not going to speak for the whole franchise. I've heard after 2, it kind of gets a little, wishy-washy. Especially 4, because they gave it to a different team, and they kind of like completely lost, what the identity was for, they went from saying, well, we just want to kill zombies. We don't really want to have like the timer and stuff. But that's what made the game fun. So I feel like the people that were in charge definitely were just trying to act like they were catering to the fans, but ended up not doing that because they thought they were doing fans justice by like, oh, we're going to take out the timer. And if you guys don't know, Dead Rising is basically off a timer system where you have to basically hit the case files in a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd say RE is a spiritual homage to Night of the Living Dead, where Dead Rising is Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that goes without saying. Yeah, Dead Rising 4, yeah, I've heard mixed things about that. Well, more, not even mixed things, more negative. Mixed things about 3. I didn't have an Xbox One when it came out, so I didn't play it. A couple of my friends played it, but I ended up getting it down the road. And by the time I got it, I was just so busy with just, everything else. The Resident Evil comeback was real, and I never really had time to fit it in. So now with this next year of 2024, basically it's just going to be, me trying to also play other survival horror games while there's some time. While there is some downtime for Resident Evil, until we see that next announcement and stuff like that. Wayne, what's going on? And there'll be some little hints that I give in the upcoming members and Patreon podcasts that you hear of some stuff that's kicking off next year that I have planned. I didn't say all my plans, but it's going to be very fun. So, but with those other plans, also, it just comes other survival horror games. So if I beat Parasite Eve, the sooner I beat that, the sooner I can have the next poll for all of you supporters to vote. I think Fatal Frame will still be on that poll, and then I think I'm going to swap out the other ones, or I'll keep the 2 closest ones maybe, and then add maybe 2 more options on there. I don't know what yet, but I think I'm going to be... I think I'm going to be, by default, playing Silent Hill 3 next year. Instead of, like, putting that on a poll, because usually Silent Hill is pretty dominant over the other, votes. So instead of putting that on a poll again, I will just probably play that anyway, because why not? That's just going to be one of those games. But yeah, the sooner I can get done Parasite Eve, the sooner we can get on to the next survival horror game that you guys would like to see. Thunders Productions, what's up? Rambo says, Daymare is a spiritual homage to Mac and me because both suck and you'd rather just go to McDonald's. Yeah. Daymare 98 is one I still haven't played. Daymare 94 is probably like a solid, like, maybe 6 out of 10, maybe a 5 out of 10, 5 or 6 out of 10. Like, it wasn't like the best thing I've ever played, but I didn't completely hate it. But I definitely have, seen horror stories about 98 and how bad it runs, so I've stayed away from that. Wayne's got the AMD 6800, 16 gigabyte VRAM video card for RE4 Remake. Nice, man. Yeah, RE4 Remake runs beautifully on the PC from what I've seen and played at Perry's shop and played it on an OLED on a PC, and it was awesome. And, that's another thing, too, is like, basically, the modding and that whole community, like, it's crazy. And I was checking out Perry's, streams, because he was streaming some RE4 Remake on the Game Complainer. So check out what he's been streaming. He's been doing the mods. Leon was John Cena. He was playing as the Terminator. So yeah, you could do a lot of, like, the merchant was Toad, from Nintendo, or from Mario, I should say. So yeah, very, very, very funny stuff you could do with the PC version. Eric Haviland, what's up? Wayne says he can almost run 4K max. That's awesome. Thunders coming in hot, fellow supporter and member with the 5 memberships. Sista A, Eric Haviland, King Shadow, Marvelous D, Azure Eyes. He said, Merry Christmas, fuckers. You are now members. You have access to the voting, the early content, and the extra podcast. So thank you, Thunders. Thanks for always giving back, man. Thanks for a great year of support from you. And you've been literally probably the top 3 contributors. So I want to say thank you for that. And yeah, seriously, really appreciate that. And yeah, enjoy the custom badges, emojis, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Rambo says, so when you start the other channel one day down the road, what non-horror games do you think you'd start with? Well, I think I touched on this a little bit in the extra show, but basically, I think one thing that I probably would like to start with is Max Payne, and seeing kind of where that goes in terms of, like, I know there's a lot of changes and stuff like that with I don't know, like, between 1 and 2 and 3, like, I like all 3, but I think going back to the first one and having, some kind of revisit and then maybe doing some kind of video on it would be kind of cool. Kay wants to see LA Noire. I mean, I've never actually played LA Noire. I've only played a little bit of it. So I would love to play that. I'd love to play, some Grand Theft Auto Vice City, maybe, some Rockstar stuff, definitely. I think, I feel like it's appropriate, and, and it won't be, it's just kind of, it's like a tribute, man, because I'm not going to lie, like, when James McCaffrey passed, that definitely sucked. That was definitely a shitty day. Because it's like, it was definitely part of my childhood for sure. Growing up, I was younger, obviously, but watching, again, very similar story with Max Payne, watching my dad play on the PS2, and the PS2 being, only a year old at that point when that game came out, and I was like blown away. I was absolutely blown away, and I still love Max Payne. Game could be a pain in the ass, quite literally, but it is very, very fun still, and I think playing through it would be appropriate, not only for just, unfortunately, with the unfortunate recent passing, but to kind of reflect on that era in gaming and that time period where, like the technology was limited, but they made the best of what, his narration is so perfect and burned into your brain because it's so iconic, even though they had limitations with the comic book panels and everything with the cutscenes. And then obviously that improved from each game. And then, 3, they did their own kind of version of it when Rockstar completely took it over. But James McCaffrey was a big part of what that was. And now I don't know what they're going to do with the remakes. I know they're still remaking them, but if you get somebody else, it definitely won't be the same. And I think that's going to be a bleeding wound on the remakes, unfortunately, no matter what. But I still want to see them remade, but it's definitely not going to be the same now with this news. But I think playing through it would be awesome to do, and it would be a little bit different. And I don't even know if... And it might be sooner rather than later, guys. Like, I'm serious. I really want to get this other, channel kind of going, or I could even start streaming on, Twitch with this new account, and then seeing maybe how that goes, Max Payne 2 is probably my favorite, too. What's up, Rio, in the chat? Jin's in the chat, too. What's up, man? Thanks for coming by last night. Bryant's in the house. Appreciate seeing all the members here. Really appreciate that. Wayne says Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I would, I'd probably play the originals over the Insane Trilogy, but that's just me. Like, not that I would never play the Insane Trilogy, but if I were to play it, I'd play the originals first. I got to honor the originals. I watched gameplay of Max Payne, and I passed over its janky goodness. The character models remind me of GoldenEye 007, says Eric Haviland. Jesus. Brandon, what the hell, man? You don't got to do that, dude. Come on. Seriously? Well, I just mentioned about my best friends in the chat, Brandon being one of them, so thank you, man, with the 50, though. And his 10th super chat, it says RIP James Perry McCaffrey. Yeah, man. It definitely hit me and Brandon very hard the other day, but thank you for the 50, dude. You do not have to do that. Like, come on, man. It's Christmas time. You could have used that for something else, man. But thank you for the $50, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I think playing Max Payne would just make sense. I think maybe it's time. Maybe it's a sign that I should just play it, And I don't know what I'm going to do with the channel name or, like whatever this new endeavor is. But I definitely think that I could make something happen. And maybe kick it off with that, because it'll kick it off with a classic game that's still one of my favorite games that isn't Resident Evil, so it's appropriate. And then maybe we can play some other stuff after that. We could see how it does. But man, thank you for the 50, Brandon. And sorry about that. I should actually have the donos up here. We got Thunders with another 5 gifted memberships, dude. Holy shit. This guy is snapping. Tonight, Bryant, RWK, Stevie Mac, Cannibal Ritual, Connor Harvey are now members courtesy of Thunders. Always giving back. And the 50 courtesy of Brandon. So, thank you. Hockey fan loves Brandon's name. Hell yeah. I downloaded 3 again this evening. Yeah, man. You have Steam, Brandon, so I might have to, give you something back in return, and try to get you to play that first game at some point, because especially now, but now, yeah, it's like Max Payne 3 is the last, that's a swan song for Max Payne. And I hit my ear. Yeah, Brandon's been supporting for the year. Still got to appreciate that, Brandon. Thank you, man. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. Me, Brandon, and a few others. You know who you are. We're going to be doing some fun stuff for my film channel early next year. We're going to be doing some fun fake trailers, and it's going to be a fun little comedy skit that you guys will see, and I'll post it when it's ready, and it's out there. Eric says, still got to respect James McCaffrey. I would have thought Max Payne was a comic before a game. Awesome narration. Yeah, I mean, it's just classic, you know? Just so classic. Still good. I beat R2 Leon like 4 times and finally got an A rank and no saving under 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing is like RE2 can be kind of, you know, shaved down as long as you know exactly what you have to do. It's not really that long of a game once you like know where everything is. And Thunder says, Merry Xmas, everyone. Love the community. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We got 27 people in here and only 17 likes. Let's get those likes up a little bit if you guys haven't. New Year's is going to be popping. Yeah, New Year's is going to be fun. You know, it's going to be more chill. It's not going to be like a crazy banger, but it'll be fun to just relax for a little bit. And have I played Allan Wake 2 yet? I have not, Mental Ambassador. I have not. I might play it at some point, but I don't know when. Just out of respect, to be honest with you, I might have to. Because I do know he's in there, but I've just heard mixed things, and you know, like I've heard good things, I've heard mixed things, but I'm not going to pay the price. I know it was $47.99 on the Xbox store, but I got to wait for a lower price. So Scoundrel says, hey bro, I just saw the teaser trailer for Keeper's Diary. What's been your main role in it, script or production? So production. So I was a camera assistant. So I was first AC is what they call it. And yeah, I was basically right under Nuji, Luke from Resident Evil Challenger, who was the lead cinematographer. So anything he needed, lens changes, lens cleaning, you know, swapping of the lenses, I was there. I was his guy. I was also writing out the slates, which I actually have over here. If you guys want to see a little piece of Keeper's Diary. This is the actual slate that we used, and it's mine now. Ha ha ha. Yeah, there you go. Cameraman, Nuji, Andrew Salo, Keeper's Diary, Scene 6, F, Take 1. And this is the last one that we actually used. They're the last thing that I wrote, because we were at a kennel shooting a bunch of Dobermans, and we basically got to the point where we're just like, yeah, we're going to stop slating, because at this point, we're just got to keep it moving. And it was an all-night shoot. So it was from 10 at night to about 7:30, 8 a.m. that we were shooting the last scene. So there you go. Yeah, it's a film slate. And you know, you can get these slates anywhere, but it's a special one because it's my Keeper's Diary one. So yes, I was able to learn a lot from that. And I was there seeing everything. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was a very, very fun collaborative process. I was in that room with, you know, with Andrew Salo, with Nuji, with Andy from Biohazard Declassified. I mean, these were like 20-hour days, and we were in there, and obviously Charlie, who was a fucking, you know, just a trooper, like one of the best, most patient people I think we've ever worked with, in terms of just like, you know, acting, and also, you know, like just being so patient, because sometimes, you know, you can work with actors and other projects, or you can have other people that come in, and, you know, sometimes it could be more of like, they can get, you know, more, I don't know, not annoyed, but just like a lot of stuff is, you know, either there's a lot of waiting because there's a lot of setup in between shot. Like, he was just so patient, and in my opinion, like, you know, he did a great fucking job with the role. So yeah, so I'm just really excited for you guys to see that, and I hope that you did enjoy the teaser, because it was it's a short teaser, but we're going to be doing a trailer shortly that is like, you know, basically showing a little bit more, but without spoiling too much, but also at the same time, like, you know, it is a short film, so we do want to kind of savor it, you know. But yeah, I know there's comments coming in, and I'll get to the comments here. But yeah, so that's Keeper's Diary stuff. It is supposed to be coming out first quarter of next year. That's still like the plan. So hopefully we can get it out. You know, Andrew Salo has been, you know, busting his ass basically. I know he's been taking a little break for the holidays, but he's been nonstop editing and cutting and talking to the VFX people, and, you know, us sending him notes or talking about it in the chat because he's shown us rough cuts, and man, it is looking awesome. And then once Nuji also is doing the color grading, so the teaser gives you a kind of, the teaser is the perfect example of what we're going for with the look of Keeper's Diary, because he did color grade that. Keeper's Diary won't be in theaters, Bryant. It will not. It is a fan film. It's non-profit. It will just be released on the Residents of Evil YouTube channel for free. And everybody that, you know, obviously backed it will be getting perks and all that good stuff. They've already have had, you know, updates and everything, and exclusive stuff that they've gotten. They're going to be getting, you know, signed items. So any of you here that obviously backed that stuff, you know, obviously keep an update with your email. Keep looking at everything, because there'll be a bunch of stuff coming out your way or being sent or everything. I'm pretty sure a lot of that has already begun or has begun. Let me catch up with some of the comments here. Remember, it says, so after Max Payne, I'm highly assuming that your next take on VIP starring Pamela Anderson for PS1. That is a crazy game that actually exists, right? You know, it would be funny. Like that would be so hilarious to do like a wacky like game stream where we're just playing just like bottom of the barrel shit, like the Mary Kate and Ashley Winner Circle, that game that you just mentioned. Like that would actually be funny. Those are the kind of things that would be fun to do on that channel, you know, when we're just feeling like a little goofy. Are you excited for Silent Hill 2 Remake? I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I don't think, you know, but at the same time, am I cautious with it? Yeah. You know, I don't want it to be, you want it to have an impact like an RE2 remake. You know, you want to have like where a remake comes out for a while and a final, you know, or it takes a while for a remake to come out, and then it becomes, you know, one of those things where it just completely lets the fan base down. And I don't want to see that for Silent Hill. I want to see it be successful. I really love Silent Hill 2, you know, so I'm going to try to stay positive with everything in mind, you know, like knowing the team that's making it, knowing that, yes, like, you know, you got, was a Bloober team are still creating it or developing it. Konami is still publishing it. So I get it. You know, it's like people are still very, you know, scared about it, but I'm looking forward to it, you know, all things considered, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nick gifted another membership. Thank you so much, Nick. Noguera in the house. Another top supporter here, gifting Ex Cathedra. Welcome back, X. I know you were a member before, probably because of Nick or Thunders, but either way, or if you just signed up on your own, thank you, and there you go. Appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much. Stevie Mac loved Allan Wake 2. Just wait another month for a few more patches. They have a couple bugs to fix. James McCaffrey was freaking great. Well, I think I will definitely have to wait for the price drop, try it myself, and stream it for you guys. Because a lot of you, to be honest with you, enough of you have asked for it where I probably should just fucking stream it, and you guys would probably watch it. But I think for me, it's better right now that I just complete Parasite Eve and we top off the year with me finishing everything that I wanted to do on the channel, and we can start off next year pretty damn fresh. And Allan Wake 2 did come out while I was filming Keeper's Diary, so while I was sitting here writing and hitting on the slate, you know, Allan Wake 2 was out, and I was not able to play it. So I was definitely working on something a lot more of a passion project and a lot more focus driven. So yeah, I didn't have time to even come back from that filming experience and immediately jump on Allan Wake. I was just completely beat. I mean, my brain barely worked that week after I came back, but I was like, I got to get back to content, you know what I mean? Because this is what I do. So yeah, But a very fun, and yes, Scoundrel, yeah, to be actually there, and it was a dream come true in a way, seeing it all come together. And let's not get it twisted. We all had to chip in for, the set building. We really, like, Andrew and Rob were the two that really were building those sets before everyone got there. But we all had to, chip in for wallpaper and painting, and like the things that you see was all our hands collectively just piecing it together, and like, it was the first time I've ever done or been a part of that set building and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very fun. It's a very fun learning experience. And if it wasn't for the people that were holding it down, helping all that stuff get pieced together, we probably wouldn't have been on schedule. So thankfully we were on that. Rambo says, so how much coke did Stuntman send you during the movie? It's a Hollywood production, so there's got to be more coke. I know, right? Stuntman is like, Stuntman is the he's basically the he comes through the hidden passageway on the sets, and we can just pull him in and he just delivers packages, like Paperboy or whatever the fuck that game was on NES, where he just throws it through the window, throws it in the mailbox. Did you shoot them with the Beretta or shotgun? What are you talking about? The Dobermans? No, we did not. No Dobermans were harmed in the making of the film. I would hope Ant reaches to be an awesome director like Steven Spielberg, Sam Raimi, or Martin Scorsese. Well, that's very kind of you, Bryant. I love to be on the level of those masters, but of course, I am just, I am working every single year to just grow what I do and expand on the projects that I work on. So, I'm just going to keep doing my own thing and see what happens. The runtime will probably be 12 to 15 minutes for Keeper's Diary. I know a lot of people probably want it to be longer, but we did let people know this was a short film. And short films, even like this, took over a week straight of filming. So crazy hours, crazy days, but we did it for you guys. And I appreciate that, Eric. He says, I think Romero would have approved. 2 dead thumbs up. Well, again, I wish he was here to see, this project. Also, the project that Brandon Salisbury's doing, which is the, who I was able to meet on set. But he is doing the George A. Romero documentary about the Resident Evil script that he was going to write, the film that never was. And I'm sure that would have made George proud. I'm sure, this would have made George, even though this isn't like his material, but the nod to certain things from either Romero or just Resident Evil are definitely in here. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait. Forget VIP. You got to play the Mickey Rourke game. Oh, shit. Yeah, Mickey Rourke, right? Here we go. I have it right here. This is from... I got this Christmas of 2009. So I got this the same Christmas as Left 4 Dead. Bethesda made this shit. And there's a Mickey Rourke rap song at the end. And look at this manual. Look how fucking thick this manual is. Can you imagine this fucking game just getting this thick of a manual? I mean, this has like combat moves and like look at this shit. It's like a whole thing. Yeah, not a great game, but it is funny as fuck just for that rap song. Jeff M's looking forward to Silent Hill 2. That's all the start is great filmmaking. George Lucas was a similar way too. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, Bryant, right? Jeff M with the 2 says going to play Alone in the Dark in March. Absolutely, Jeff M. I will, depending on if it still comes out in March, which I hope it does. I was looking forward to actually playing it in January, up and coming, but it did get pushed back to March. So yes, the answer is yes. I will be playing Alone in the Dark for you guys, and maybe I'll play Allan Wake 2 before then, so I can kind of be caught up with some of these games that I should probably play. Angel Excellence says awesome tease for the film. Can't wait to see the film, and it looks better than Hollywood's interpretations of the franchise, and fan-made projects are better than Hollywood nowadays. That's true. That's true, Angel. And I think we're trying to set the bar for some fan films, especially when it comes to fan films off the games. So yeah, I think we're trying to just make some people proud of. Well, who knows what happens? Who knows what will happen? Um, yeah, who knows what will happen? Um, let's see here, Brian. Absolutely, absolutely. That's a great question. Do I watch older films to help with my film direction and style? Absolutely. Um, I feel like we're all just kind of ripping everyone else off from those, you know, those great golden years, those great days of the 70s and the 80s. But yeah, I definitely love watching movies for influence. I like going in to like a mode where I shut everything off and I watch like movies or new movies, or just to kind of take some inspiration, but also just to kind of get some kind of like recharge, because sometimes watching movies that make, like last night we just watched Black Christmas. Fantastic fucking movie. I mean, Halloween ripped Black Christmas off, even though John Carpenter still denies it to this day. And Halloween is my favorite film of all time, but Black Christmas is up there. One of my favorite horror films, and yeah, that's such a great movie. Bob Clark, R.I.P. Hey, and expect any big things coming. Well, I want to shout out Matthew Webster with the 3. What's going on? Been a while since I called it live. Thank you, Matt, for being here. Appreciate that $3. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit for probably another hour and some change. We'll shoot the shit, and I wanted to return to Parasite Eve tonight, but I was like, let me just do this instead, and I'll do Parasite Eve tomorrow. I will be starting Parasite Eve a little bit earlier tomorrow, and so I can play a little bit longer, and we'll see where it goes, because it's Christmas Eve. It's the Eve. Wayne says, I almost forgot to drop a like. I'm 25 like. Well, yeah, thank you. And yes, hit that like button if you haven't yet. I know it's like, it's hard to get everyone in here when I kind of do these more spontaneously. I know that, and that's my fault. I probably should have started way earlier. But I was busy. I had to run out and do some last minute stuff for Christmas and all that bullshit. So after the 25th, then it's all over. The craziness is over. I mean, New Year's is still New Year's, but it's like after the one day, then it's like, and it's done. Yeah, it used to be better. I mean, I agree, Bryant. I agree. Hey, man, I've been watching you for years. Thank you for all the content and consistency. Thank you, Silver Strike 4. Cheers to you, man. And thanks for being here through all the trials and tribulations and the years through YouTube. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, exactly, Scoundrel. Just trying to set an example. I think this will, hopefully open up the door for more projects for myself, more projects for, the team. And I would hope that I can kind of learn even more from the next one, and all the knowledge that we took collectively as a group, not just myself, but everyone else, we just apply that to the next thing. And it really, I mean, it sounds corny because it's like, oh, obviously, yes, you learn from one thing, you bring it to the next, but it's true. You get better every time, and you learn what to do, what not to do, how people can, make it a lot more, of a collaborative process when we have everyone there, kind of like focused on just a couple things or one thing, because I think a lot of things, like there was definitely a lot of like people being pulled in a few different directions because there was a lot more extra stuff that had to get done. So maybe next time we can have even more people on deck that will help to make things a little smoother. And that's all stuff you learn from each production. I learned about 70s culture from my older siblings. That's cool. Yeah, I love the 70s. I feel like I'm like stuck in that time period in a way, even though I never was there, but like I'm obsessed with everything that just, yeah, I just love it. Milfman, what's up? Been watching old spy thrillers like James Bond. Says Angel, from all over the years. It's a great feeling of watching older movies. Yeah. Yep. I am all for the old movies. And you know what was funny is like there was a lot of people in the chat last night when we watched the movie Black Christmas in the Discord. You know, also join the Discord. Yeah, the like it's just cool to see, you know, to share that experience of watching it with someone for the first time. You know what I mean? It's a really cool feeling to show people, you know. And also it's just more like I think there's going to be more like, and we'll see kind of like a comeback of things, you know. Like I think now like horror is an interesting spot where things come back, but I feel like, and they make money and franchises make money and all that shit, but like it's, you gotta like, you know, cherry pick some of the stuff that is like actually good, that you gotta pull out of like, you know. I could see the rest of it. Yeah, this is No Sleep Till Xmas, and it's just Jack Skellington. This is something that a poser would wear, but I'm not a poser. I do like Nightmare Before Christmas, so, you know, it is what it is. Nick is out here gifting another membership to Siren from Nick Noguera. Thanks, man. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate that. Eric says, honest review of Parasite Eve. The game is Resident Evil with RPG mechanics, but done right. The lore and story is freaky, as you can imagine. Yes, and I've heard the second one is even more like Resident Evil. And there's elements of that are easier. And yeah, so Parasite Eve 1 is a great kind of, you know, mixture of all those things. Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, and also you know, like it's for me playing it for the first time, I still think the story's great. I love the characters. Like I really want to see how it wraps up. I want to see how it ends. So I will be returning with Parasite Eve tomorrow for sure, and we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens with my level. We'll see what happens if I beat it or not. I don't know. We might just get stuck tomorrow. It could happen. So yeah. But I'm enjoying it. I think I'll just play the second one. You know, I don't know if I'll even have to include that in a poll, but maybe if people want to see one game over the other, then I'll be like, all right, if it's like kind of a tie, then I'll just try to throw it in the poll and then see if I can get a tiebreaker. You know what I mean? Let's see. Is Capcom kinder to the fans? Because I know Sega appreciates the fans. Yeah, I mean, I would say Capcom in the last handful of years have been definitely more aware of the fans, I would say, than they have been before. You know. What's this, Rip James? Yeah, James McCaffrey did pass away earlier in the week. Very, very sad. Mountain Arts, what's up, man? AKA Purple Herb. Let's see here. I can only remember the early 80s, colorful, weird t-shirts and punk rock. Yeah, different time, right? Do you think things were really better back in the day, or are we just adults now and it's harder to impress compared to being fresh slate as a kid? Because I'm curious to know if it's just nostalgia. Well, I think nostalgia is a hell of a drug for sure, and I think, you know, I think there's a lot of I think there was just a lot more original ideas, and things just felt more like they were coming from an honest place back then, you know. But I definitely see why people might like, you know, one era of movies over the other, you know. I think there is more of a, I guess, you know, as the years go on, people want to kind of go back and experience that stuff, but I don't know. There's something with that time where it was just like, you know, the films were like the Wild Wild West, you know, and people were just kind of making anything and everything, and you know, studios might have been losing money, but every era of decade kind of gives you a I don't know. It's like it always gives you something different, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, but I think it's harder to impress because everything's been done, or things that have been done have been overdone. Like superhero movies is the best example of that, or some horror tropes have been overdone. Um, it's very strange, you know. Parasite Eve 2 is worthy sequel. Lots of unlocks and replay value. You'll probably get a kick out of it. Yeah. My Cole, what's up? Says, hey, all digging the sweater. Bling bling. Yes, we got the sparkly. It's got a fucking light patch on this thing. Like, where is it? It's like here. You just fucking flick the switch, and it's like, boom, it's off, and then it's on. Which means I could probably never wash this thing. I mean, this is like new, so it's not, you know, it's not dirty. Damn, bro, hope you're doing all right. Thanks for pushing through and live streaming. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Yeah, doing good. I just wanted to jump on here tonight real quick to just do a little hangout. I like to do these a couple times a month, as you guys know, where we just kind of shoot the shit. So I'll be on here for about another hour. So, you know, you can keep your questions coming in and all that good stuff. I know I kind of missed the stream rush because on Fridays everyone likes when people stream kind of like midday, like 3 to 5 p.m. is like the hot spot. So I definitely dropped the ball today, as of many other days, but I decided to just do it anyway, and I had to get something out. So just got my LTRE Nemesis shirt, loving it. Oh, nice, Arifs a lot. Hell yeah. You got the Nemi LTRE shirt. Yeah, there is merch down below, guys. You know, I don't know if YouTube shows it on the bottom of my videos anymore because I don't know what the fuck is going on with their merch store, but I do have merch. I have hoodies, long sleeves, a Nemi shirt. You know, there's a couple cool. There's a lot of cool shit on there, but I know some people don't see it. So yeah, definitely click the link down below for the merch if you want to support. I don't make anything off of the merch, but it's basically just there for you guys so you can rep some LTRE stuff. So I want to say thank you for that. Am I going to treat myself to anything RE related through Christmas? Actually, Gravity, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's definitely been very tight, so I don't really know if I'm going to splurge on anything crazy, you know? I might just, you know, wait to see if some stuff comes through next year. I usually, this time of year, sometimes get in the mood to, you know, get some RE stuff, but I don't know. You know, I probably should treat myself to something, but I'm just kind of good on a lot of shit right now. I'm like, all right, you know, like there's never an end of Resident Evil stuff to get, but I guess when I'm in the mood to go hunting, I will. I saw the dope Exorcist hoodie at Walmart today. That's cool. That's where I got this from. That answers Milfman's question. I got this at Walmart. Or wait. Yes, Walmart. We went to one Walmart that didn't have anything, which is, it's like, dude, they can't get Christmas stuff in stores fast enough, and then they can't get rid of shit faster. It's like, what the fuck? So I had to go to a different Walmart. Yeah, exactly, Scoundrel. It was just a different time where, you know, certain things or certain bars weren't set, and then it's funny how some of that stuff obviously still holds up, or some of that is, you know, it's like that was the first time it was being done. Let's see here. My sister is playing Parasite Eve 2 literally in the other room. That's awesome, man. That's so cool she's playing that. Nick says, I have the Nemi shirt. He loves it. He's down for it. Hell yeah, man. Thank you for that. Ever plan to visit Japan? Yeah, one day. Yeah, one day, definitely. You think a Resident Evil story should be told during the holidays, post-Code Veronica, but before Umbrella's fall? Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool. I guess Code Veronica is what considered the December game. Because it does take place in December, so I guess that would be um, the closest that we have. Michael says you can always get a green herbs for any occasion. Any occasion, exactly. I'm planning on replaying some RE games during the break. That's good. We got amazing plans for the new year, and that's really cool, man. Patriot said, "What's up, Patriot?" Says that's the same way with me. I feel that there isn't much to treat myself good anymore. I think I always have everything that I need. Yeah, I mean it's just like, and you're trying to like, say, and again, like I'm kind of, you guys also helped with donating for this PC, so I'm starting to spend money on, the stuff that I've, saved and you guys have donated. So I have to get these parts now. And so that's also like, it's kind of treating myself, but it's not. It's like, it's almost like it's part of the investment to, I mean, having a new computer in a way is kind of treating myself, but, I need this new PC for next year. It's going to help me a lot with the things that I just talked to you guys about. So, when everything comes in and we have everything, I promise it will be live streamed, and the PC build will be live streamed here on the channel. Me and Perry will be doing it, and we will be just shooting the shit with you guys while, I will be talking to you guys while Perry helps with the computer, because I'm not really great with building and piecing it all together. I know what the parts are and what they do and know about them, but yeah, that will be another next step for me, because this channel turns 14 in February. And you bet your ass there's going to be, a lot of content on here. Even if we don't have Resident Evil coming out or new Resident Evil stuff to talk about, there is plenty to do. Resident Evil related and non-RE related in terms of survival horror. So there you go. Is Die Hard a Christmas film? I would say yes. Die Hard is one of my favorite movies, but I definitely would say it's a Christmas movie. Just curious, would you like to see another RE game set in Raccoon City, or would you like to see another Outbreak remake first? Well, I guess that would be my answer, kind of combined in one. That's for AMC Stud, who's asking in the chat. I guess yes, but if we're returning to Raccoon City, something similar to Outbreak would be cool. Even if it's not a Outbreak remake per se, but it's something that is, it uses the RE engine. It uses the, or the Rex engine, depending on when it comes out. But if we have, the Raccoon City assets already done up in the RE engine, I don't see why they couldn't just have that in there. You know what I mean? And so it kind of comes down to a couple different things. Like, the online stuff now, I think the PvP online multiplayer stuff is very poor. They don't really like Resistance. Yes, I've heard it can be fun, and I've heard it's even better than Reverse. But all in all, I think Resistance and Reverse didn't really hit the mark that Capcom probably would have liked. And I think that if they're going to focus more on multiplayer stuff, they have to just focus on co-op multiplayer instead of PvP multiplayer. I think when we were playing Outbreak, there was more people playing the fan Outbreak online than there was people playing Reverse on PC. Okay? So that just shows you where people kind of want. Like, we were playing the Outbreak scenarios on Resident Evil Challengers channel the other week. We did 1 week of playthroughs, and then we did the second week. And it was with, Nuji, Izzy, and Andy. And we were playing it live on their channel. And, yeah, it's like there was more players playing that at the time. So that's what makes it even funnier, is that, like, people clearly want that. Whether or not we'll actually get it, if it's just wishful thinking, probably. But I'm also not really, like, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I mean, obviously, EXO Primal, yes, it's successful. Like, I'm sure it generated them some money, and a lot of people do like it. But I didn't really connect with it, and maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. It wasn't a horrible game. I just didn't know if it was my type of game. And I felt the same way about Reverse, but Reverse was okay, but then it just it kind of just fizzled out. And I know that it was pretty much released to avoid a lawsuit, because they promised that thing was going to be released with Village, and it wasn't. So maybe next time, if the conditions are a little bit less I guess, like, down to the wire, because it really seemed like they were just trying to get that thing out. Scoundrels says, take my advice and don't get lazy with the cable management with the PC. You will thank yourself later when you have to change something. Yes, so that's one thing that thankfully Perry did well with the PC that I'm on now, is the management was pretty doable. And so when my computer got struck by the storm in the summer, which is when I kind of started to gather stuff for the PC, and you guys started to help out with that, it was a lot easier. So, yeah, point taken, it'll be cool. You think if they didn't focus on Resistance, do you think RE3 Remake would have had more attention to fix its flaws? Mr. Patriot's asking that. That's a good question. I don't think Resistance took away from anything. I think because RE2 and 3 Remake were being made at the same time, which we know it was. We know this. We had Nikki Tompkins on the show, and we asked her when she was doing her lines, and it was right before RE2 was even coming out. So that means they were already working on it well before. So that already confirmed that. However, so that always cuts out the bullshit of like, it was rushed, bro. It wasn't rushed, but I think they definitely might have taken shortcuts because of the team themselves. I don't think it was a time thing, but I think it was more just like, and I don't think that, I don't know. I just don't think that they, like, I just think they definitely, the stuff that they cut, I think just offended fans enough to where they're always going to feel a certain way about it. And I've accepted this, ever since I got shit for liking RE3 Remake to any little extent. I don't like it more than the original. I don't think it's the best remake ever made, but I did appreciate it for the things that it did, do. That was right. But, yeah. You and Perry don't mix up the RAM with the Terminator CPU. Yeah, no, we don't need another apocalypse, right? Do you believe the next RE remake will be 5? Yes, I do, Damon Vector. Yes, I do. Once they inevitably remake 5 and 6, I would love to see an Ultimate Mercenaries game that has the assets from all the remake. Matthew Webster, yes, that's a great comment because, I think that would be awesome to have an Ultimate Mercenaries experience where you have the meter, you have your mayhem meter, or whatever you call it, and everyone has the similar kind of special abilities, so they can make just a Mercenaries game with the RE4 Mercenaries improved mechanics that make it very fun. And I think a lot of people will enjoy that because Mercenaries 3D was a cool game, but it was only on 3DS. So to see a current RE game on the RE engine that is just Mercenaries would be kind of cool. They don't have to charge full price. You know what I mean? You can charge whatever, but whatever is, I guess, at a lower cost because it's, they want to make some kind of money off of it, but, I don't really know what they're going to do from there. But we'll see. I think it could happen because they kind of like got Mercenaries back where it needed to be because Mercenaries in Village was not good. I'm sorry, guys. It just wasn't. And the only reason why I played it was for the Platinum. So, I'm basically wanting some RE5 Mercs co-op, But if they made the Mercenaries game, then that could be co-op. So, there you go. Hope Code Veronica gets made first is my call, but my gut is telling me RE5. Yeah, I don't think Code Veronica will be made first. I think it might happen eventually, but I think 5, the breadcrumbs were pretty much leading to 5 by the end of 4 Remake, and that's not, I think it's more, I don't know. I think it's more of a just what sells more, at the end of the day. I think 30th anniversary for RE to do a remake, I think that would make sense for the 30th year, So will remake or will RE1 be remade again? Probably. Will it be as good as Remake 2002? In my opinion, I don't know because RE Remake 2002 is still my favorite remake. So I've gone on record a bunch of times saying that, but it's true. So, at least for me anyway, but I know a lot of people have their other favorites and to each their own. That's all good. But for a while, I was kind of against an RE1. But I think if they did it again with the over-the-shoulder third person, the Rex engine maybe by that time in the Spencer Mansion would be killer. And I don't really think that much of a complaint will be had. They can fix the little things, like in terms of the endings, like having everyone escape from the helicopter on both scenarios instead of like one character being completely absent from either Jill or Chris's scenario. Little things like that. But I don't think that because of 5 maybe happening and then maybe a 1 remake, I don't think a Code Veronica will be completely ignored down the road. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. I don't think they'll take out Sheva. No, I think Sheva's pretty important in that game. And maybe they can make her even more important with her writing, and her character herself. Not that she, moves much of the story, but, she's part of the BSAA Africa division, you know what I mean? And her and Josh will probably be in there again. I don't see why not. They could just make their characters a lot better. I think the writing starts to lack with the secondary characters between 5 and 6. Between Sheva, Helena, and Piers, and like all these other people, they were just always underwritten. So, and I know that they wanted to pay attention to the main characters, you know what I mean? But, the little improvements that they can make within the remakes are, those things are the changes they should make, But I think people are really easy to dismiss RE5, but I think it's coming. Especially with how 4 Remake ended and, how we saw Wesker and everything. I mean, the breadcrumbs are there, my friends. The breadcrumbs are there. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments here. I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, so next year, next year's like, okay, Gravity's saying most realistic timeline, RE5, RE9, RE1, 30th anniversary. I think, I was just about to say, next year, I would say RE5 is the next remake, but I wouldn't say it's the next Resident Evil title. I think RE9 is up first. So I think next year in 2024, like I already mentioned, I don't think we're going to get any Resident Evil release. We'll get an announcement. I'm sure of it. I'm sure somewhere along the line we'll get some kind of RE9 announcement. But I think 2025 will, yes, to Thunder's point, will be when we see a big return of RE coming out. Dragon's Dogma is coming out first quarter of next year, so that will be Capcom's moneymaker. A lot of people have been waiting for that game. It's been over a decade since the first one. So, Monster Hunter is also in 2025. So I can see them doing Monster Hunter and Resident Evil, We'll see, though. If they do another RE1 remake, I think 0 should be included in one bundle, like Origins Collection. It would also help if RE0, since less people would buy it on its own. That's true. Implementing Zero's story somehow would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want Zero to be completely ignored, but it's something they could, or if they want to sell it later for DLC, could happen. Let's see. What am I playing Texas on? Well, I'm playing it on the Series X, Perry. But the crossplay's on, so that's a good thing. Is crossplay is back in that game, so I can play with anybody on anything as long as they're not on. If I can stop yawning. PS4 and Xbox One. They're the only gens you can't connect to. Yeah, we'll see, Michael. I think it'll be fine if they do it, you know. I know Alfred's a trip. I haven't had any weird Freddy nightmares, no. Not to my knowledge, scoundrel. Or just in general, no, I haven't. I don't think we'll get any more characters. I actually don't even think we'll get an RE4 Gold Edition. And you need that Celsius drink. Celsius. I think I've had it before. No Parasite tonight. No, I actually used today to play Parasite Eve, but just not on stream. So I was going to stream Parasite Eve, but then by the time I leveled up Aya, which is apparently how you say her name, not Aya, it's Aya. But, you know, fuck me, right? But yeah, basically, I was going to do it and then basically ran out of time because I had to go out and get a last minute gifts. Me and my dad had to go out and pick some stuff up. So basically, didn't get a chance to stream Parasite Eve tonight. So I figured, well, I'll have a couple hours after I got home, so let me just do the Hangout stream tonight and then do Parasite Eve tomorrow. So tomorrow will be Parasite Eve day, and we'll see how that goes. Whether or not I get stuck on it and whether or not I suck for a few hours. Yeah. Yeah, they do have Celsius at Wawa. They do. I was shopping for games, and they had a copy of Ari on Sega Saturn. That would cost me my left nut. Oh man, yeah. Carlos did buy. Carlos Cruz bought Perry Saturn version of Ari. Revelations remake. I don't think we need a remake for Rev Goat, but I would say Rev 3. I would say Rev 3 is a good one. Ahmed, what's up? But yeah, thankfully we do have, well, I have another one in the fridge, but got the body armor right now. Yep, Perry. So I ordered the Grinch for Perry because it was available from GameStop. So here's a little story time. So basically, 2 weeks ago, we were on Game Complainers. And there is a deal of the day, and the Grinch game on Xbox has been sold out, like physically, right? And as we were talking about it live on the Game Complainers, it goes up for deal of the day for like, $25 or whatever. And, plus shipping, and they charge you for shipping, which is just like ridiculous. Even if you're a pro member, which I am, because I signed up for that RE4, Game Informer. And if you signed up, I was able to digitally see the Game Informer. So all those videos I did, I basically signed up for the pro thing just for some of those videos that you guys got earlier in the year that was about RE4 because I wanted to be on it. And Order the Grinch over a week ago. Finally, it shows up. And guess how it shows up, chat room? It shows up just like this. What do you not notice about this, huh? It's not fucking sealed. What does that say? No. So basically, GameStop said, fuck you. We're going to take your money. And again, this is perfectly fine. It looks cool too. With the green. And the disc is perfectly fine. But why would you why would you ship me? And it's from Texas. It's from their headquarters. You know what I mean? Why would you ship me a new game that's open. So basically, I sent a picture to Perry. I'm just like, yeah, this is opened, but it's in good shape. So I'm gonna keep this over on the shelf, safe, and I'll bring it over for the Royal Rumble in January, which you're gonna be hanging out. So there you go. But and the sticker too. Yeah, exactly. What if it was a gift? I mean, it just makes it look, I don't know, loud. Like, and especially if it's new, like you just want to open it yourself, because this thing, you know what this tells me? That someone was probably renting this thing at the store who worked there, and it was just like, oh yeah, we'll put the disc back in there, or they just took a used copy and just like popped it in and was like, all right, yeah, now it's new. It's like, dude, this could have been pre-owned, and I wouldn't have even known if you just put a sticker on it. Did Rev 1 push the 3DS to its limits? Yeah, I think so. It looked great on that console. On that handheld console. I know the ending of Rev 2. Yeah, I know. We were still kind of on a cliffhanger with that. That's why people want Rev 3. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like shit like this, like that I just showed you, is the reason why GameStop is just gonna go under sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? That's GameStop for you. They once sold me a Zelda demo and not the actual game. I had to take it back and get my 60 back. That's so stupid. So stupid. Yeah. I mean, we have a just, a plethora of GameStop stories and annoying, like run-ins that we've had. You know what I mean? And Jeff M says, I hate how GameStop does that. Open new games during the big October clearance sale. Kept them because they were cheap, but normally wouldn't like that. That's okay. Yeah. So that's what I was telling Perry. I was like, so because we saved money on this, they basically sent us open shit, which is just so stupid. Like, if, and I know Best Buy is going to stop selling games soon, but it's like when I would get stuff from Best Buy, when I did, I mean, it was fucking sealed. When I would get a game from someone in the back and it's brand spanking new, if they saw it was open, they'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and sometimes, yes, we'd keep them in the security cases thing that you would, open with a little magnet thing and it would slide up and then you take the game out, but it was always sealed. I wouldn't go back there and be like, here you go. Here's your game. It's opened. And it's like, dude, anybody could have touched that, done whatever. It's like, that would just be fucking weird. Fred was traded into GameStop. Thunders with another gift to Dylan. Thanks, man. Thanks for giving back to Dylan. Simply Dylan in the chat. Let's see here. Did I miss any other? No, that was the last one. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was up on the memberships. But yeah, it's such a weird thing. It's like you save money and they're like, fuck you. There was a movie recently with GameStop selling stuff. I don't know. I mean, all I know is that GameStop is just like, they're going to be done sooner than later. Fred was traded into GameStop. Let's see here. GameStop been doing that shit for so long, got everyone used to it. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because, when we were talking about that in the chat, while I ordered it, like Perry was like, they're probably just going to send it to me not sealed, or like they're going to send it to you, it's going to be open, and it was fucking open. I was so like, I opened it and I didn't see shrink wrap on it. I was like, dude, what the fuck, Immediately sent it to Perry, just like, hey man, this is how it showed up. Ron the Don says, Merry Christmas, and everybody just stopped by to say what's up. Thanks for all the great content this year, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, Ron the Don, for being a member and supporting. And hopefully you stay with us for next year. It's going to be some really fun stuff. So, oh my God, RWK, you're a savage. Jesus Christ. You guys are going to stream your live reaction of the Royal Rumble. We're not going to, I don't think we're going to live stream it because of copyright, obviously. Like, we can't, I mean, even if we just streamed our reactions to the Royal Rumble and you just see our faces, you would still hear it in the background. We usually like to get food, just relax and chill out and watch the show. Now, whether or not we do a live stream and we talk about the show, that's always something that could happen if Perry wants to do something like that. But typically, we like to just kick back, relax, and chill. Kular says, didn't realize you're live. No problem, man. I'll be live for about another half hour. Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat, says Perry. It's crazy. Yeah, like a post-Royal Rumble stream. I ordered a PC monitor for my daughter and from Best Buy, and they sent it in the actual box you get off the shelf. Thank God it arrived. It even arrived. The whole world knew. Yeah, so Amazon does that sometimes, and so does Best Buy, where, like, yeah, when you get it sent out, it's, like, in the box. Like, there's a couple times when I was working for Amazon, which was a very short time, but when I worked there, it was about a couple seasons I was there, but not holiday seasons, but like spring, summer time. Sometimes when I would get monitors off of the van, they would just be in boxes, and I was just like, this is so fucking weird. So I would always try to like put them, like if they had a spot where I can kind of hide it, I would try to hide it so it's not in plain sight. And like, there's nothing I can do because I didn't box it. That's how it came off the warehouse. But like, I'm sitting there like, why isn't it in something else? So yeah. Trade Fred in for 25 cents. Merry Christmas, Kular. A couple of my friends pre-ordered a collector's edition from GameStop, and short before release, they received a cancellation. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people, man. I think that's why. And I'm very happy. Shout out to Robert Anselmo. He is the gentleman who did win the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition that I was able to kind of give back to the community during the raffle, during the RE4 Remake 24-hour stream. It was an individual that got their collection canceled, so it definitely changed, his kind of his month around when he realized, oh man, like I'm getting this thing, and he got it, and I kind of gave back to the community because that was really fucked up, man. GameStop did a shitty thing, and I was able to get a collector's edition. I won the Capcom giveaway as well through the Capcom creators thing, so it all worked out. And GameStop about to be umbrella in the RE4 opening. For all intents and purposes, GameStop was finished. Yes, eventually we'll see that. Any day now, I feel like that could just happen where they just, they've already obviously shuttered stores. They've, we've seen them close in Ireland and places like that. So I think they're gonna, not even a whole dollar. Well, that's what GameStop does. They love ripping people off. They don't want they don't want you to get any kind of money. Back in the day, they would have like, trade-in deals and stuff like that. Like I'm talking way back, like early 2000s. But it's just, it became less and less of a reason to trade in the stuff anymore. That's why I just, for better or for worse, I held on to a lot of shit at a certain point because I was just like, what's the fucking point? I'm going to probably want it eventually one day again if it's a game that like I really like. So what Royal Rumble? What is that about? Royal Rumble is WWE. It's the wrestling pay-per-view that happens every January where all the wrestlers come out in the ring and the last person standing in the ring is the winner, which is a very cool concept. There's also other matches that go on in between, or I'm sorry, before the big event. Yeah, WWE has been popping off because of CM Punk coming back and everything, so it's definitely very fun. She's level 53, Anthony. Well, that's like 20 levels above me, so that's pretty impressive though, because at least she'll have her characters leveled up evenly. Where when you play with randos on Texas Chainsaw, no one is, they're either low levels or they don't have, like, the characters that get picked are the ones that they're good with, so they're like forced to having low level characters. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think I just hit level 30 or 32 or something like that, so I'm like probably 18, about 20 levels, 21 levels behind. So biological, let's see, Word of Ari mutated by fungi apocalypse of Last of Us. Oh, like a Ari Last of Us hybrid. Cannibal, Merry Christmas to you, brother. Thanks for being here. You're now a member, by the way, courtesy of Thunders. Don't know if you were a member before. I think you were, but you got another month for free. I think that's how it works. Like, if people are already members and you get gifted one, it just adds on to it. So there you go. You got an extra one, because it is always random, by the way. Whenever someone gifts members, it just gives out random. They don't even have to be in the chat, which is kind of cool, because it's like your subscribers that, you know, might miss out on the stream can still get members or get a membership or an extended month. So that's really cool. Yeah, it's sad GameStop's like that, man. You know, and it's not surprising, and you know, they never ever cease to amaze me, or disappoint me, I should say. So that's what I meant to say. They always disappoint me. They never surprise me anymore. It's always just like shitty service, cancellations. You walk into the store, there's barely any games anymore. It's just shirts and computer parts and pop figures I don't give a fuck about. No offense if you like pop figures. I like a few of them, but god damn it, I'm not going to GameStop for it. You know what I mean? Hidden Gem, Evil Man, PS1. Unfortunately, there's no English copy. Try it out. Okay, Evil Man. Interesting. Well, I do have ways to play it, so that's something to think about. I never checked that out or never heard of it by name. But yeah, GameStop is just, it's going to be gone eventually. Especially if they're doing shit like this, sending games that are open. But like Jeff M says, they have been doing this for a while. We've talked about it on the show before, so unfortunately, it is what it is. And it's unfortunate, too, because this is, like, sold out everywhere, you know, this Grinch game, so, or at least for Xbox. Let's see if it's still the Grinch, which it looks like a really good game, too. Yeah, Amazon has it for $33, but it doesn't come until after Christmas. Amazon, you have a chance of getting it new, but you also have a chance of it fucking being like the French-Canadian version or whatever the hell. GameStop closed for a smoke shop. Well, yeah, they'll all close for something else, you know. They'll turn into a Subway. They'll turn into a smoke shop. They'll turn some, you know. Oh, it's Devilman. Ah, Devilman. Okay. I'll have to look that up. All right. I got game stores near the area that's better than GameStop, and I've been going to it a lot more. Well, yeah, that's, you know, I think it's important to, you know, support stores or small businesses that you genuinely enjoy shopping at. And you also know that, you know, they're not going to rip you off. They're not going to, you know, try to upsell you on dumb shit like GameStop would. It's just more of, you know, you just get more honesty and more of a selection, because chances are if you go into another video game shop, they're going to sell just video games. And, you know, some of them might sell, you know, like the ones by me do have, you know, a whole card section and stuff like that. But most of them just selling games, and like that's a lot more than what GameStop is doing already. So I thought it might have been something else gaming related. I didn't hear about that. Oh, you're fine, scoundrel. Yeah, most people know what the Royal Rumble is, but just in case you didn't, there you go. There's another thing that's going on. And that's in January. Trying to think of anything else. Definitely bring in some questions, though. Like I said, I'll be on here for about another half hour, and we will wrap it up. And I'll be back tomorrow with some Parasite Eve, because I figured, like, tonight, like, I could have started Parasite Eve, but it would have been around this time, and, you know, I'd actually like to extend the stream tomorrow, like, make it longer on purpose. So, you know, I'm going to be starting a little bit earlier tomorrow, so Sorry, I was just reading some messages coming in. Okay. ECW, CM Punk, Chicago. Rumble was the key word for me. I was like, ain't it wrestling? Yeah. The Rumble. I'm trying to find retro gaming, but they are hard to find. Yes, they are. Especially if you don't have, shops near you to check out. You know what I mean? What's for dinner tonight? I'm eating enchiladas. So I ate earlier, so I had a tremendous dish at Olive Garden. Fake Italian food. But anyway, it's a fucking catastrophe, But, I do have people around me that love to go, and I eat the shit. But to me, that's fake-ass Italian food. If you ever go to New York City and I see you in an Olive Garden, you have permission to, to sit there as I punch you in the face, because there's those damn enchiladas. There's better Italian places at Olive Garden. If you're not on the East Coast, I'll give you a pass. But God damn it, if you are here in Jersey, it's like if you come to Jersey and New York and you order from a fucking Domino's or a Pizza Hut or something, you probably deserve to be smacked. Not saying that like it's not good to have a Papa John's or a Pizza Hut from time to time. We all do that, and they're open later. I get it, but if you have the option, it should always be considered. You know what I mean? Kular used to work at Olive Garden. Well, Perry says I said fake ass Italian food to Marina, and then you just said yeah, exactly, because It just is, man, and like you don't stay full. It's almost like eating fast food, because you eat it and then you're just like you're already hungry like an hour or two later, like you know what I mean. So yeah, it's like you got to do better. That's the thing, like because yeah, like imagine being in Times Square and you go to a fucking Olive Garden. No, that's if you do that, then you just don't even talk to me, I guess. How many breadsticks can you hold down at Olive Garden? Never-ending breadsticks. We could throw them back. Breadsticks, if anything, are probably the more filling thing to get. But I personally like the salads there. The salads do slap at Olive Garden. You do get to create your own pasta. Callie's all on the breadsticks, but I mostly eat the salad. I fuck up that salad for sure. They do have unlimited breadsticks, and usually the soup as well. You can just keep ordering soup and salad there. I mean, look, if you want to save money and you're on a budget, I'm not going to knock anybody doing that. But if you come to a place like Jersey or New York, we got better options, guys. You know what I mean? We got better options. And it's the number one in the hood, so Sister A. Yeah, Donkey Lives Pizza. Donkey knows pizza. I'm cooking the breadsticks was a pain in the... I'll tell you, if y'all don't know, cooking the breadsticks was a pain in the ass as Kular. Damn, okay, we got it from the source. Maureen agrees with Callie. Yeah, the breadsticks are, I mean, she gets the zuppa toscana. She gets that. And then he tosses in the salad. Oh, believe me, I know my way around a salad or two, if you know what I mean. I'll tell you if you don't. I already read that. It's Saturday 23rd, 6:38 a.m. around here. Damn, man. So it's Christmas Eve already over there, Ahmed. Well, Merry Christmas Eve, and it's right around the corner. So hopefully you get, you get all your stuff squared away, and hopefully you can relax. I love the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. I think that's the best thing about Red Lobster. Like, does anybody go to Red Lobster and actually like the meals? That's probably a good question, right? Does anybody like that? Because the cheddar biscuits are fire, like they're good, but like, yeah, the breadsticks are good as hell. That's probably the best thing that holds down Olive Garden, that's their anchor. Okay, so Wayne's putting over Red Lobster, the Xmas spirit. Yeah, I think the closest Red Lobster not, they're not even around like anymore. You know what I mean? It's like they're not even around. Sister A's putting over Red Lobster. Revelation says, fuck that. What's up, man? You think we getting any RE announcements in 2024? Probably RE9. Do you think the next RE CG movie should be having 2 main characters instead of all 3 or 5? Yeah, I think maybe the whole like RE Avengers thing should just like it was fine, but we don't need a stacked cast like that every single time, you know? What a Marines employees goes every Monday for endless shrimp. Endless shrimp. And complained to corporate when they took it off the menu. Oh, wow. Well, they're like, hey, we're losing money. We're going to, you know, they probably don't lose money on those breadsticks. But then when it comes to Red Lobster and the endless shrimp, they're probably like, you know, fuck that. We need that money. Jen flexing with the member emojis. I appreciate that. Jumbo coconut shrimp at my local Red Lobster is fire, says Wayne. So he's putting over Red Lobster. So is Sister A. I love Red Lobster as a franchise. May not be fine dining to Europeans, but for me, it's a rare treat. I mean, that's fair. You know, there's just something like, I mean, I'll be honest, and I know Perry and Maureen are going to laugh at this, but I retired Chili's, right? And then I finally found, like, you know, the chicken sandwich that I can settle for. And you know, their chips and salsa is good too. But everything else on that menu, I'm good on that. Like, I'll order it and I'll be fine, and it's perfectly filling. But Chili's, me and Callie, the one time we went out there, and it was like probably 6 years ago, and I was like, I'm never coming into a Chili's again. And I haven't been into a Chili's since. I have, you know, had it with, you know, when we're hanging out at the shop, but Never Ending Shrimp got me food poison at Red Lobster. And hold on, the heart's in the way, so let me make sure I see this full comment here. For Perry. Well, you know, that's the thing. It's like, where is the seafood coming from? You know what I mean? How, like, I don't know. I get sketchy about that stuff sometimes. I don't mind seafood, but you got to be very careful. Damn, I couldn't even tell you the last time I've been at a Red Lobster. It has to be over 10 years ago. Easily 10 years ago. And I couldn't even tell you what I got. Wish I had a Moe's closer to me. You know, one thing I did have, I don't know if I have anyone in the Midwest here, but when I was, Chili's only has a few good things. It's not completely terrible. I wasn't a fan of the stuff that I got when I went there, you know, at the restaurant. I forget what I got. It was some kind of like, I forget. It was something that had like multiple things on it on the plate. Seafood comes from the Bronx River Parkway. Oh man. I think Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Applebee's are owned by the same company. That wouldn't surprise me. Or maybe it's like, you know, similar. Yeah, it's like Apple Sneeze is definitely like the service is just horrible. And not that I go there for good service. It's like going to McDonald's and expecting, you know, the fucking manager to come out and rub your shoulders when you're eating the meal. You know what I mean? Like, you're just expecting too much. You're going to get a bunch of momos and yo-yos at the fucking drive-through window. Or even back there. But the only good thing I'll give Applebee's is that if you want to drink, you know, for cheap, like if you want an alcoholic drink, you can get it cheap. And then the other thing is half-off apps are pretty banging. Their mozzarella sticks are good. Taking grandma to Applebee's. Yeah. You know, not it's again, it's very, very shitty food, but like if you do want to go, you have to go during the half off apps between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And if you're eating there late at night, you have to go between 9 to close because that's when it's also half off apps. So your bill is only like, you know, $15, $20, I think. You know, like between two people, if you get a couple apps, I mean, it's literally nothing. So not the best. Michael wants the baby back ribs. Think of Austin Powers. Eli says, I can cook better than anything on the Chili's menu, says Eli. When cheese sticks are right, they're right. Yeah, the matzo sticks are pretty good. So taking grandma to Applebee's is Conan O'Brien's code for sex with gilfs, says Perry. Which I think Conan can get some gilf action. I mean, he already probably does. Yeah, it's okay for bar food, right? Talking about bad service, the local Best Buy here sucks. I got this AMD GPU, and it took me asking them 20 times. I need someone to unlock this shiz so I can buy it. Well, I mean, the problem now with Best Buy, and again, I hear it from, my friend that still works there, and actually my other friend who is doing seasonal there just for the time being. He even said, we just do everything, So basically, departments are no longer a thing. Labels for departments are no longer a thing. So everybody that's there is just, doing everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it sucks. You know what I mean? They're basically doing everything, and they're still probably understaffed, so... And are there any Bed Bath & Beyond stores still open in Jersey? Yes, there is. There's still Boscov's. There's still Bed Bath & Beyond. They're still hanging on, Sears are completely gone. Macy's are pretty much dead. I mean, I think there's a Macy's in this place called the Deffert Mall, but it's... Or JCPenney, I think, is what they have. I don't even think they have Macy's. Because the Sears turned into a round one arcade thing. So they introduced alcohol and arcade games in the round one. And yeah. Jack in the Box is good matzo sticks. I had Jack in the Box once and it was actually really good. That was when I was out in California. What did I eat in the Midwest? I got interrupted. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. We're getting on this food topic. Culver's. I had Culver's in Wisconsin, and it's kind of like you can get butter burger sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, tater tots, and it's kind of a more upscaled think of it of almost like an upscaled Wendy's is the best way that I can describe it. What's the deal of the day? We don't know yet. Thinking about Applebee's just reminded me of a giant rat I saw ahead of us when me and my friend were walking towards one in Philly. Oh, shit. Well, in Philly, I feel like I saw the rats. The last time me and Nick were heading to, we're in New York City, and we were heading to 42nd Street. And... which is all Disney-fied and just a complete tourist trap and whatever. But it was, I wanted to go to 42nd Street. The history there, you can't really deny it, right? And I saw a fucking rat across the subway thing in the tracks, and he fucking just ran at the other one and jumped on him. And I was like, oh, shit. And it was like a fucking wrestling match. And then the train came, and I was like, well... but it was the biggest fucking rat that I've ever seen in my life. Just pummel the other one down. And then the train just came out of nowhere. It was like something out of a movie. What's up, Dreadpool in the house? Dreadpool's in here, man. What's up? It was great having you on the show, man. Great conversation with Dread on the last Christmas edition of Game Complainers. You guys have to go back and watch that if you haven't yet. It was a really fun show. We talked about probably some of the biggest leaks ever that have happened in gaming because of the Insomniac leak. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Let's see here. JCPenney is where I buy my pants and shirts. Hard to find stuff when you're nearly Jesus. It's the big old 7-0, right? Well, for me, I'm 5'6". I'm not very tall, so I don't really have that problem though, but let's see. The mall is in a speedway? Huh. Busey's? Been to Busey? No. Not Gary Busey's. Don't forget the frozen custard. Oh, yeah. The frozen custard. Good old custard. Yes, 42nd Street used to be filled with hookers in the early 90s. Yes, well, actually, dating all the way back to the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. That was like, the spot where not only would there be, prostitution, dirty bookstores, peep shows, but that's when you would actually get authentic films, on that street. Because back then, it's like you wouldn't have, a video store to go rent, stuff in the 70s. So you would go, and that was more in the 80s, but you would go to 42nd Street and you would go see Cannibal Holocaust, or you would go see, Cobra, or you would go see, like mainstream movies, but, they were in these, second run movies or double bills, triple bills. So it's, yeah, if you watch Taxi Driver, that film, that pretty much depicts the era of 42nd Street that would have been interesting to see back then. You know what I mean? New York City's going back to its 70s roots crime-wise. Well, yeah, probably. But, I definitely, I just think that, like, New York City lost some of the heart, I think, when a lot of that stuff got, cleaned up and all Disneyfied. I understand you got to make it nice for the tourist, but that come in, and you want it to be safe. But I don't know, like that era when it was just like the grindhouse. That's when the term grindhouse came from, because those theaters would literally grind out movies, literally, because there was like, they were constantly making low budget stuff to run on 42nd Street. And that's the era of film that, that I love the most, is the 70s and 80s. And that would have been awesome to check out, something. I know people would be like, oh, you wouldn't have want to been there. It's sleazy. It's dirty. I mean, it just was what it was back then, because people have to forget something. Like, when the stuff happened and they cleaned everything up, it wasn't just like the porno theaters and the other stuff that was getting cleaned up and the prostitutes. It was also, they were running out businesses, pizza places, hot dog places, like businesses that were there for years, built up by families, and they were kicked out by the fucking mouse, the Disney mouse. So basically, yeah, it kind of sucked the soul right out of what 42nd Street used to be. However, there is a few, I mean, some of these theaters, like the New Amsterdam Theater, and the Lyric Theater, which are now redone. They're not, playing movies anymore. They're playing, plays off of Broadway. You could still visit some of these iconic theaters that are redone. But I think that, it still has some of the old school landmarks there that you can see or go inside, unless you have to pay to obviously see a play. But I like to go see a play right now. But I think the only two that are playing, because to be honest, I was looking for, like, I was like, oh, maybe me and Callie can go see a play, because I've never, taken her to a show. The only two things that were playing were, like, Aladdin at the Lyric, or no, Aladdin at the New Amsterdam Theater on 42nd Street, and Harry Potter, the new child, or the Cursed Child, or whatever, which I've heard just bad things about. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We won't go see that, because I've heard that was bad. But, I was trying to find something else, but it did not work out. So maybe when another play comes around. Field Rats come right out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It wasn't Master Splinter, RWK. It wasn't. What's the Deal of the Dead? But yes, very much love Taxi Driver. Such a great film, and that is the best depiction of how 42nd Street used to be. And Robert De Niro for Devil May Cry 6. Buc-ee's. Busey's is Buc-ee's. Okay, maybe I just butchered that. Mainly fashion ladies went crazy with season sales. I know, right? Mrs. Doubtfire is getting a musical? What the hell? I haven't seen Godzilla -1. No, I know a lot of people are really putting that over, because they feel that it's like there's less budget and less money into that film than the major Godzilla films that do CG, and apparently they're a lot better. So I don't really know, I don't really know, like, I don't know. Like, it's it's definitely I think some people with Godzilla, I think there's always like fans that are just again very dedicated and super fans, and I'm not in that. Like, I don't know Godzilla like that. So even if I saw -1, I probably will enjoy it, but I can't really judge it based off like, oh well, this is what they did with this other film, and like I've seen a couple of them, but I'm not. I know fans get like really serious about Godzilla, and they're putting over -1, so. Oh my God, naked nudely Broadway. Oh my God. Uh, the yes, only that can exist in a 1970s New York. Sadly, um, the DCEU finally ended. Sadly, is that the case? Yeah, but as far as like Godzilla 2, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I'll check it out. I mean, I know it's in theaters like now, or like you know, there's limited theaters of that, but yeah. And fun fact, Falling Down. Speaking of movies, Falling Down was the last actual movie to play on 42nd Street. That probably wasn't a porno, or softcore porn, because it was 95. So most of those theaters were already closed for renovation or closed for, the mouse to come in and either push out businesses or take over. And Falling Down was the last film to be shown at one of those theaters, and the crowd was like going crazy because I think it represented what a lot of people were feeling inside with what was going on with New York and all that stuff. I just feel like it was very I don't know, prophetic is the word or whatever it's called, but yes, it's very, very interesting. I always love that little bit about that. I'm trying to find the theater that it last played in, because there is some trivia to that when it was released. But yeah, it was like people were essentially like yelling at the screen, and because that's what you would get when you would go see a movie on 42nd Street. Falling Down, the porn version is called Getting Up. That's a good one. So back in 97 on MoviePhone to buy tickets for Titanic, they had to type in tit on the phone. You have selected titties on Broadway. That's MoviePhone. That's a throwback. I remember that site. I don't think I ever used it, but I do remember that being like what we used to look up local times and stuff like that. Chris, wow, what a mansion. Really appropriate final movie, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, isn't that crazy that Falling Down was the last movie to kind of play on that street, and just it's just a crazy. I forget what theater it is. It might have been. I'm like blanking on the theater name right now, but yeah, it was actually kind of crazy, and I'm sure people were just going completely nuts. Abbo, what's up, man? Another member in the house. Where's Barry's dubstep breakdown? Godzilla -1 is the best movie this year. In my opinion, was blown away. Damn. Okay. Before Fandango. Yeah, Perry, right? Before those days. Abbo's in the house. Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, Abbo's putting it over. I mean, I trust you guys. I trust you guys in the chat. So maybe I will have to check it out. If it was the best film that you've seen all year, that's a pretty hefty statement. So I might have to check that out when that hits the sites. Because I'm sure it's, it might be playing in the Cinemark near me, but yeah, I'm not sure. Man, I'm trying to find this theater that it played at, and I'm completely. Let me type in 42nd Street Theater Falling Down last film. Maybe it was Empire Theater. Let me see. Was it the Empire? I'm trying to find it. see. 42nd Street. Yeah, I think it had to have been. I think it. You know what it is? So the AMC that is on 42nd Street right now is now the only place that you can actually go see a movie on 42nd Street. Everything else is just like shitty wax museums and tourist trap shit. But that used to be it's called the AMC Empire, but I guess it was called the Empire Theater. And I think I'm pretty sure that's where Falling Down played. But I'm going to have to come back to this because I'm going to be going down a theater rabbit hole, which is great. I mean, it's good to know the history of these theaters, you know. The Abo Theater in Mamaroneck is fantastic. Reclining seats with popcorn and condoms. So you get a double whammy. Just in case you end up, going into the bathroom, you never know, for some hanky-panky. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Yeah. Trying to see it. Like, I thought I knew what theater it was. But yeah. They opened as a multiplex in 2000, AMC. The Empire 25 remains AMC's flagship multiplexes in the 2020s. Well, yeah, I mean, it's on 42nd Street, but it's the only place that you could watch an actual theater. I'm trying to find. There might have been an article that was talking about it, but you know what it was? I think there's also. So I have Sleazoid Express, which is a book that we need a hospital movie theater. Holy shit! Beetlejuice 2 is coming. The sluts come to you. Beetlejuice 2 coming September 6, 2024. Anyone want to see it? I don't know. I don't know. You hit the nurse button while the movie scares you. Oh, Jesus. Nurse. Sheriff. Beetlejuice 2, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not against coming back and making a sequel like fucking 30 years later, but do we really need another Beetlejuice? I don't know. That's something where I'll just wait for it to come out on digital or whatever. Have you been to the Reading Terminal? I think there is a museum, but I know they have a market below. It's in Philly. I don't think I've been there specifically, but I probably know where it is if I looked it up. The seats are stretchers. He is a zombie after all. Yeah, that's true. Cannibal Ritual has mixed feelings on Beetlejuice 2. Yeah, I mean, it does have Michael Keaton. I mean, look, Michael Keaton's amazing. I'm not putting down Michael Keaton at all, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, new Ghostbusters is coming out. I'm excited for that. But I don't know. I just think sometimes you bring this stuff back and it's been too long, and sometimes Ghostbusters was a better thing because we got an official sequel that needed to happen. Where Beetlejuice, it's we didn't really need a sequel. But then when you make a sequel, you just really have to. Yeah, The Whale too. But when you make a sequel, you really have to consider, okay, is this concept going to be good? Is it even worth to go back to it? I guess Tim Burton is directing it again. So yeah, maybe they did have a decent amount of people return. Yeah, Beetlejuice 2. Yeah, Tim Burton's directing it, and the screenplay is by Alfred Goff and Miles Morales. Michael Keaton's back. Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega's in here. Of course she's fucking in here. We gotta see Jenna Ortega like we need a fucking hole in the head. Monica Belushi's in here. Willem Dafoe's in there, which is actually pretty funny. A ghost detective who in life was a B-movie action star. So there you go. It's coming out September 6th. Yeah, I mean, shit. Where was it filmed? I think they finished it after the strike was over. They resumed November 16th, 2023, and then finished. Isn't that funny? They basically had it 99% done before the strike, and then they basically had to film from November 16th to November 30th, and then they were done. Like, imagine that, like, the frustration. Like, you're just sitting there like, when is this fucking strike going to be over? We don't know. We shot 99% of the film. That's pretty fucking interesting. They filmed it in Vermont, apparently. And then they finished it in Massachusetts, Melrose, Massachusetts. So there you go. There's your Beetlejuice trivia that you probably didn't need to know. Michael Keaton's in Ghostbusters 4. Is he? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I know he's not. He's not in Ghostbusters 4. He should be. Or at least it doesn't say here on his filmography. Goodrich and Beetlejuice 2 are the two movies that are coming out next year that he's in, or officially in. So there you go. Artivika says, bro, Jenna's hot. Easy, sailor, easy. I'm very rare when it comes to new movies. Me too. Keaton is still alive. He's not that old, guys. Like, I mean, he's old, but, like, he's not, like, fucking ancient. What is he? 72? I mean, he's a little old, but, I mean, he's still acting. I mean, he's still... I mean, a lot of people, when they're older, like, some people, you can't really tell that he's, like, 70. He could pass for probably 60. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire looks good from what I've read. Yes. The trailer looked pretty cool. Willem Dafoe will channel the Norman Osborn energy. I don't know. You know what I love about Willem Dafoe? He does all his own stunts. Like, Willem Dafoe is a fucking maniac, and I love it. Like, he is, like, completely crazy, but I love that. He goes... Like, when you see him getting slammed around and getting powerbombed in Spider-Man, that's all him. He literally said, I do not want a stunt double. I will do all my stunts, because he doesn't want it. He goes the distance. Robert De Niro is still acting, exactly. Al Pacino is still coming and having children, so, yeah. These old guys just fucking keep kicking it. I don't know. They're getting some fucking testosterone shot in their ass so they can shoot the shit, but, Yeah, De Niro's in his late 70s. De Niro looks 55. I don't know about that. I mean, he doesn't look horrible, but, like, I don't think he looks 55. Beetlejuice and Freddy banging chicks, the same room as Jason and Michael have to watch through the window. I mean, that sounds like something right out of 42nd Street in the 70s, so there you go. Yeah, Howard Stern's looked the same since fucking, whatever. No, Gary Busey's fucking nuts. And I'll tell you that firsthand because, yeah, let's just say I worked at a convention that he was at, and he didn't last longer than Friday night. He was thrown out. I'm not going to get into specifics, but damn, Sister A, fucking savage. Joe Pesci needs to return. Capone looks 155. All right. Well, with that being said, with everyone looking fucking old, Howard Stern is fart man. He is. Let's see here. I want to make sure I got everybody here as far as comments. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up with those crazy film discussion and all this shit that it turned into. I'm happy we talked about this. I'm happy we talked about 42nd Street and movies because, there's not much going on. So, not much Resident Evil news. Like I said, I am going to be doing a year in review podcast for LTRE. So that will be up before the end of this month. And I will be live before the new year hits. So this isn't the last you'll see of me. Parasite Eve comes back tomorrow. And after Parasite Eve tomorrow, I'll probably be back after, Christmas. Right in between Christmas and New Year's, I'll be live a little bit. And hopefully we can finish Parasite Eve if we don't finish it before. I'll send her your username. You should still have it on the list still. Oh yeah, I still have that. Yeah. And I could just invite or share the party code, so I could probably just invite since I already have it on there. But yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. I don't want to say Happy New Year, but if I don't see you on the live stream tomorrow, then obviously have a Happy New Year. But I want to shout out Thunders with the 5 gifts, Brandon with the big 50. Thank you, Brandon. Thunders with the other 5 gifts, Nick Noguera with the 2 gifts, Jeff with the 2, Matthew with the 3, and Thunders with the other gifted membership. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Merry taxes. Yes, Merry Christmas. Thank you for an amazing year. We're not done just yet. We have a few more days left, obviously, of the month, but thank you all for this. This was a fun little hangout, and Parasite Eve and the games return tomorrow on the channel. So smash the like button, subscribe, join the Discord if you haven't yet. We have awesome updates there. I have the hiccups, sorry. And LTRE on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitter X, whatever, sex, and the merch is down below. If I can talk, the merch is down below, and that's it. Merry Christmas, but I'll see you guys tomorrow with some Parasite Eve. So if I don't see you then, take care, everyone, and have a good, safe holiday. And if I cannot have the hiccups by the end of this, then screw me, right? That's it. So thank you guys for the love and support. Love you guys, and I will catch you guys tomorrow with some Parasite Eve. Take care.